Did we ever play there? We played there, right?
Yeah. It was really funny because we were like playing with hardcore bands, and then we were like, I want a Pepsi.
yeah.
But that's a classic hardcore line.
That's true.
Yeah.
That song, I think Amory stole that song from Suicidal Tendencies.
Right.
Yeah, whether she knows it or not.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? What up? That's what I was going to say. I had that planned out, and then I forgot. I panicked when the red light of recording came on. So this week we got a quick one for you. I sat down with Allison and Mike from the band BBQT out of Montreal / Newfoundland, as you are going to hear, / New Brunswick, really, in a way. Jack Bielli, guitarist in the band, was wearing a tie-dyed Hopewell Rocks t-shirt at the show that we played together on, what day is that? Saturday of this past weekend. So they and my shoegaze band Valerie were in Fredericton, New Brunswick for the Flourish Fest, which if you heard last week's episode, the interview with Stefan, you know all about it. Really great time. It was a really cool festival. Great crowds, great music. They decorated the Capitol in this like super crazy like blacklight forest kind of vibe. It was really cool. The night before that, I did a DJ night with my friend Jeff at Taco Pica here in town. We called it Mutant Sounds. We spun records, which was amazing. First time we had kind of done that, set our own turntables up through the PA, and like, you know, it works, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that I just did this. So that was really cool. And then tonight I am playing a show with this other band who played the same night at Flourish called Run Coyote out of Toronto at Taco Pica here in town. Ro was supposed to play it, but she got sick. I ran into Erin yesterday and she said she was coming down with something as I was buying a sandwich from her. Cool. So anyway, this is a fun interview. I sat down with the two of them on Sunday in a day in which we were all kind of chilling. I forgot the SD card for my recorder, so we recorded this on my iPhone. It turned out pretty good, I thought, but if it sounds a little weird, that's why. Anyway, super great band. Their set was really good and fun crew. I know you're going to enjoy this. So here we go. Me with Allison, the drummer, and Mike, the bassist of the band BBQT.
Hello, everyone. What's up, Internet? We're hanging out at the Lunar Rogue pub in Fredericton. I'm here with Allison and Mike and Allison from BBQT. How's it going?
It's going good.
Things are good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Fredericton's cool. We're here for Flourish Fest. We played last night. As did you, Ryan.
Yes. Good gig.
Big gig.
Big gig alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big gig. The band is from Montreal.
Yeah, kind of.
I live in Newfoundland. So I commute for this crazy band, this rock band.
How does that work? How often do you do it?
A lot. My parents are airline people, as are Mike's, so that's how we keep things cheap.
Yeah.
So that's why I can fly. But I would say I'm there like once every month or two.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. How long is the flight?
3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I have to like check my cymbals and my snare drum, and it's always like a bit of a crazy bag, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play with the band Valerie, who was playing last night, and I live in St. John. The rest of them live in Halifax, and I have a similar length of commute for band practice, and probably do it less.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, what's new with the band? How do you Is that hard to keep it together? I didn't even realize that was the case.
Oh yeah.
Has it always been that way?
It has, yeah. I lived in Montreal for like 4 months and did an internship, and that's when we started the band, but have lived in Newfoundland ever since. It's mostly fine. We recorded like 2 months ago, and we're putting out 6 new tracks. 5?
I actually don't know.
It's 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So we played 2 last night.
Yeah. I think that people like them. I think they're going to be good tracks.
I think the fast one really killed last night,
Yeah.
TBH. Yeah.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
For the big drop.
Sometime this summer, the big drop is coming.
Your brother Micah recorded and mixing those tracks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So how did the band come into being?
You take it.
Allison and Amory used to play with like Amory's ex on bass in Newfoundland, and mine and Jack's other band, Weird Star, went out to play Shed one time, which is a festival that your brother Micah used to run. And we saw them play at a barbecue, like in somebody's basement.
My basement.
In your basement? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa, that's so sick. And then the girls were like, oh, we're moving to Montreal, like really soon. And then we kind of, like almost bullied you into letting us be in the band, it feels like. But it all worked out.
Yep. And then we moved to Montreal and started playing music together.
Yeah, it's so funny because I felt like my brother Steve moved to Montreal, and then my 2 other brothers moved up maybe like a year later. And it was around the same time that I had moved to St. John. And I felt like within a year, like I was sort of like getting acquainted with the city of St. John. And then my brothers who were in Montreal were all of a sudden hanging out with like a bunch of people from there. But you all met in Newfoundland, that's right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, we met in Newfoundland when they were visiting. Amory and I lived there for a bit, and then I still live there. And Amory moved to do art stuff in Montreal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And are you from there, Allison?
My family is from there, but I grew up in Guelph.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, yeah, I've lived in Newfoundland for like 4 years now, and I like it. And
Right.
I can't seem to leave. But sometimes I have the urge to, because I play in this band. But I don't want to, like, move unless I have a reason to. But maybe I will soon.
I mean, maybe. You do play in a band in Montreal, so that is a reason.
Yeah,
to
that's
me,
one
but-
reason.
Yeah.
But you also have a hookup where you can act like that can work.
It can work. I'm kind of like, how long, like, before I lose my mind? You know? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like last summer we played a lot of fests, and like my brain broke a bit near the end. But I'll do it for as long as I can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it mostly works. We could probably be a bit more prepared.
Yeah, it's tough to like just practice.
Yeah.
That's what we find too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes we play a show and we're like, it was a little shaky. Like if we had practiced 2 more times, we would have been really good.
But it's also like never bad enough that it makes me feel like we have to change it. You know what I mean?
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valerie's like that too, and even like I feel like it could be more together if I would just practice on my own more, but I also don't do that unless we have a show coming up.
Yeah. What about you,
Practice-
Allison? Do you do that?
I practice the drums every day for
Do
2
you?
hours. No, absolutely not. No, I feel like practicing the drums is crazy.
I guess.
Well, I mean, I
never
just
really
like
done
don't
it.
have an apartment where I have a kit
yeah.
or like, you know,
Yeah, I don't either.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Yeah, so it's too loud. So either you like get some cushions and like
Yeah.
do that until you can't stand it anymore.
Yeah, totally.
But it is the kind of instrument where, well, I think a lot of instruments are this way, but it's like unless you are like you're getting like carpal tunnel in your wrists or something, or there's like stuff that you want to be able to play that you can't. It's like that's where the motivation to practice comes from.
Yeah, I feel like unless you want to get better, like
Yeah.
it's like drums are. It's like it's weird because you're fine and you know how to do all the fills that you know how to do, so you can just do them forever.
Yeah,
you know,
you can play
Unless
all
you
your
wanna change
songs.
it. I play in another band in Newfoundland, which is also a band I like to play in, which is also why the move would be like, you know, I consider the move to
Because you'd
Montreal.
be like leaving them behind.
Yeah.
Would you, if you moved to Montreal, would you fly out for
Commute
Los?
to Newfoundland.
Yeah, go the other way for Los
Los
Angeles.
Angeles,
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
What's the other band called?
Lo Siento. It's like a Spanish punk band.
Cool.
Yeah, we just went on tour with a band that's in town right now, Property, also from Newfoundland. So I've been on tour for almost a month.
Wow.
Yeah. And I keep on buying all these things in different places because I'm a shopaholic. And now I have too much stuff to take home.
Yeah.
So I'm like stuffing shit in my cymbal bag, you know?
Because you got to fly back.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
The pulmonic aggressive.
Yeah.
The maritime. So why is it that you live in Newfoundland?
I did my master's there, and I like it. I feel like it's simultaneously a very supportive and suffocating place. And so when you feel good, you're like, this is the best place on earth. And when you feel bad, you're like, get me out of here. Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird. I started climbing Signal Hill every day. I like doing that. Playing the drums, writing a bit. We're actually sitting beside a whiskey that says Writer's Tears Redhead. And I have red hair.
Right.
And so do you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to interview another ginger drummer. I feel similarly about St. John, and is it the small townness of it? Like the thing about St. John's, Newfoundland, is that it's like a pretty kind of happening place on its own, but around it is like a lot of nothing.
Yes, it's I don't know. I feel like once I'm also just like getting older, and it's like once you just like are connected in a place and you feel like you know everyone, you're like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also feel like I have a social life in Montreal, and it would be fine, and I could slide into it, and it would be okay. But there is some reason that I don't want to leave St. John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever been there?
Once.
And only Micah lived there out of your brothers, right?
He did, yeah. We all went up for Lanya Vanya one year.
Yeah, Lanya Vanya is going to be good this year.
Yeah.
Big lineup.
Can you leak the lineup, or is it out?
It's out, but I'll
Who's
leak
playing?
it.
Yeah, leak it.
U.S. Girls is
Big one.
playing.
Uh-huh.
Faith Healer's playing.
Uh-huh.
Protruders are playing.
Big one.
Our pals. I don't know. There's Snotty Nose Res Kids are playing.
Cool.
They played kazoo. I don't know. I think it's a pretty big band. Newfoundland is like also, I feel like that's becoming kind of like a destination festival, because people are like Out of Earshot, which is another music festival that started last year in Newfoundland, is like, I feel like every musician I see is like, I'm going to play at Out of Earshot, because people want to go to Newfoundland and like it's expensive.
Right.
So they want to have like a reason to do it.
And like get paid a little bit. To
and
do
have
it.
money. Yeah.
Well, and have a good show. Although Newfoundland famously kind of like, it is just a good place to go play.
Yes.
Yeah, it rules.
Yeah, it does. Good bands there, for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting to leave and go on tour and be like, cool, there's a lot of sick bands in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, maybe I don't want to leave because of the island. Like, you feel really, like, segregated out there. You know? You're just, like, on this little island. And it makes you, like, every time I have to leave, it, like, feels like a bigger deal because I am, like, not connected to the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
I feel like Mike thinks I should move.
I get why you don't want to and probably won't. Like, I don't think that you should for you. I don't know if it's the best thing for you, but I just want you to move because I want to hang out with you all the time and play in the band.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would just be nice to have you around all the time. But like, I don't know, you got to do
just
what
like
you got to do.
Skype more or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll FaceTime. We'll use Google Duo.
Cool. How did you end up in St. John's, Newfoundland, if you grew up in Guelph?
My mom is from Belle Island, which is like a island that is the population of my high school.
Uh-huh.
And I would always go there. I've never spent a Christmas anywhere but Newfoundland.
Uh-huh.
So would always be there. And then I interned for this literary journal when I finished my undergrad. And then I was like, I guess I'll do my master's here.
Right.
And I did a master's in creative writing. And yeah, I mean, like, also just like, yeah, the art scene, writing scene, art scene, music scene in Newfoundland is just like a supportive place to be. So that's another reason I don't want to leave, because I feel like I've like kind of established that as well.
I don't know anybody who's moved there who didn't love it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's maybe not everyone's bag, but it's good. I feel like winter this year was particularly shitty and hard. And I'm kind of like, I understand why people get funky here in the winter, because it's also like snowing there right now, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I find that Montreal is like that too, where like the summer is so sick and everybody is really hyped and like hanging out all the time, and the winter is so cold and it sucks so bad, and like I feel like I don't see any of my friends for like 4 months.
Yeah.
And then everybody comes out in like May.
And
I know, everybody kind of hibernates.
everyone wants to be in Wario Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I found about St. John's, and maybe it is, to me, the reason seemed to be, or what I thought it was, is because it's an island, but like nobody's in a hurry. When we went up to La Vanya, the like show let out and just everybody was hanging out outside, and like nobody was like, I got to be here at this time. Everybody was just like chilling.
Lots of chillers for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of people like running on punk time over there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mike, how did you end up in Newfoundland if you grew up in New Brunswick?
I just went out to play the fest, like Micah's Shed Island Festival with Weird Star. But I do love it. I feel like I've made a lot of friends there, and like everybody's...
Do you feel like it's similar to New Brunswick?
Yeah, kind of. But it is weird how it's like even more isolated. Like people in New Brunswick, or like bands in New Brunswick will like... Sometimes some of the bands will go tour and like play Toronto or play like Canadian Music Week or some shit like that. But like bands in Newfoundland mostly don't get off the island. Like some people,
because the flight is like $1,200.
It's so hard to do, and if you have gear,
totally,
like,
no, it's crazy.
I feel like some of your friends, like some of the people, literally have never left Newfoundland, right?
Definitely, but also people are just like, I feel like there is some kind of like festivals obviously have a harder time booking bands from Newfoundland because it's so expensive to get everyone off the island. So it's like, it's shitty sometimes because you're like, this band, if they lived in Montreal, would totally be playing all these fests, but they're not because, they can't leave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a phenomenon of the East Coast in general, too, where... it's like harder to gain what I would say like career traction. It's like you can play, but making money is a different story.
Totally.
And it's not because the bands are bad. It's just because of what's around them, and like stuff will get blown up because it's from Toronto. And it's not because it's the best band in the country or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've had an easier time being based out of Montreal than Newfoundland for sure.
Yeah.
And like we've had opportunities for that reason.
Well, I think there's also like cachet too, where people are like, "Oh, it's a Montreal band; they must be cool."
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never really lived anywhere else as an adult. I moved there when I was I had like just turned 18, like the day before I moved there.
Yeah.
And I remember being like really excited to go there from New Brunswick and be like, oh my god, all the bands are going to be so sick. But sometimes the like Montreal band thing, or at least a couple of years ago, there were a lot of like just shitty bands that were like kind of riding on being like a Montreal like DIY band. And they just, I don't know, sometimes people like lean on it too much maybe.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, we played with some, certainly. Where like they're just, they're not any better than like the shitty band in your hometown.
Yeah. I actually was listening to... My cousin Sam has a podcast out of Toronto called Blink 155, and they had an exclusive episode with Ryan from Mint Records and Tim Clapp from Kingfisher Blues Records out of Vancouver, and he asked them like where the worst demos come from. They have like a thread where they share bands' demos that get sent to them and like clown on them.
Yeah.
And they were both like in unison, like Toronto. Like Toronto demos fucking suck.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I guess bands are like really trying to do it like career style out of Toronto.
Yeah.
And they're like it's sometimes like probably kind of lame. I don't know.
feel like it's a weird place to play music. I mean, I like Toronto and I grew up in Ontario and it's like nice and fine. Lo Ciento played there a week ago and it was sick. We played at the Burdock. But I don't know. I feel like all of our pals are always kind of like, I guess it's just so big and sprawling, and you're like, where is cool music?
Yeah.
I feel like B. Traverse is like championing a music scene there because Faith Void closed, and I feel like they're like doing a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering what was going on with, because the punk scene there is like really sick, like the hardcore scene, but the venue and record store that everybody used to play at shut down. I think because they had like a condo got built next to it, and the neighbors were like complaining, which sucks. But I don't know what's going on with those people.
Yeah.
What was that venue and record store?
It was called Faith Void.
Okay.
Run by Ryan from the band Shit, who were like really sick. They had this, yeah.
Very, very cool place.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Did we ever play there? We played there, right?
Yeah. It was really funny because we were like playing with hardcore bands, and then we were like, I want a Pepsi.
yeah.
But that's a classic hardcore line.
That's true.
Yeah.
That song, I think Amory stole that song from Suicidal Tendencies.
Right.
Yeah, whether she knows it or not.
The other thing that I've found about, I mean, it used to even just be Ontario bands in general. Like in the 90s and the early 2000s with the punk bands that would roll through, it's like they really were trying to do, like they had their branding nailed down in a way that no band out here did, because the opportunity wasn't there. So why would you even think of it? Like to have a logo and to have like your merch table set up like in a really like businessy kind of way, and have your kind of stage moves and your whatever figured out. But I found like the bands that are kind of below that level will have like the costumes and the stage gear figured out way more than the songs.
I feel like branding is such a funny thing, band-wise.
Yeah, and it's like kind of important now, but it's also like so funny and stupid.
Yeah.
But like our friends
the sickest band ever.
They're like amazing. They're a super good band, but I will clown on them a little bit. They're called Gasm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know them. Micah does like all their stuff.
Yeah.
Josh, the drummer, plays in Weird Star, my other band.
Good pals.
They've been making this album for like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's amazing and so sick, but I realized, like, I was kind of making fun of them the other day because I realized that they've put out, in the last 2 years, 0 songs and I think like 12 t-shirt designs that are like all really dope.
And everyone has them all. It's like, it's like Montreal uniform.
Like all our friends are always all decked out in like different Gasm long sleeves.
That's
like,
so funny.
I know, it's like a clothing line.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
But they are an insanely sick band. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know, it's definitely like, even when I was touring with Lo Ciento, we like don't have an Instagram, and we like none of the people in the band have like phones.
Yeah.
One person has a flip phone, so it's like me taking pictures and everyone being like, stop doing that.
I know.
And then it's kind of like, but then it's like BBQT, I feel, is present on the internet, but it's like, it's a weird thing that you have to consider, and it's like sometimes you're like, this is really dumb as shit, you know?
I think it depends on what you're trying to do. If you just want to play like sick punk shows,
Yeah.
which is kind of all I want to do, like, you don't really need an Instagram, but it's also like kind of fun.
Yeah.
And it's like a fun little game sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you do it in that way, then it can be cool and it can be fun. If you do it in the way that's like, I have to be like creating content for my brand or whatever, then it sucks. And then to me, that's the point of like, after a few days of trying to do that, I just like decide that I quit for a while.
Yeah, I don't really use... Well, I lurk like a lot. Like I'm always looking at everybody online, but I don't really post because I think it like freaks me out. Like it
is freaky.
I have like a kind of a crazy like brain, and I think that I would, if I was like worrying about posts and people liking them, I think I would just go nuts.
Yeah. It sucks because it takes you over, because I have definitely gone through like periods where I tried to do it because I read something or saw some video where it was like, you have to be posting all the time, or people tell you that.
Yeah.
So then you try to do it, but because of the nature of the like, how many likes did that kid, and like you get notifications and stuff, you just are always checking your phone, and then it like it can ruin my day or whatever. You're just not ever doing what you're actually doing. Like you're not present.
No, it's super weird. Branding. But it's also like, I don't know. I also feel like I guess this is technically what we did, because Amory and I never played the instruments that we play in BBQT before we started the band. And so... But I feel like there's a lot of people like popping up making like cool band Instagrams and like cool band merch, but they like don't really know how to play music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's like what we did, kind of.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, we definitely used to totally suck. But you just get better at it. If you suck at something for long enough, you get better at it. Yeah,
totally.
I wouldn't have guessed that watching the band, because it's like it's pretty figured out at this point.
I think we have it.
Yeah, and we play like simple songs with like easy parts, and then it's like hard to fuck it up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but it's like the band is tight, and everybody's like kind of playing their position, and like got that side of things figured out.
I think we have a nice thing on the go.
Yeah.
And I also think that's fine. The like band as art project rather than like whatever,
totally.
like band as like, no, dude, we're here to shred, or like whatever that is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, folks.
Wow.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, this was fun.
It was.
Cool. All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. What a bunch of cuties. That's all we got. Busy week here. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, show notes and everything else, links to their music. You want to see what they look like? You go to learndrums.ca, learndrums on Instagram. I made a new name for my own Instagram. I'm now at Brown with the Sickness. Cool. That's it. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.